Courage. What is courage? Not everybody has it, but any one of us can develop it. Courage means that you take heart, you do those things that scare you, despite your feelings. Hello everyone, I am Sherry Webb, life coach and author. I want to speak to you about increasing your courage, developing and increasing your courage. So what requires courage? What are the things in our lives that requires courage? And courage, it requires that you step into the unknown. It means you step outside of your comfort zone. And we all have heard that. We all know that. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone. But not everyone is willing to do that. It means at times going against the grain. It means going against maybe what family and friends think. A lot of times family, they think they quote unquote know what's best for you, right? So that can be very uncomfortable. But when you want to increase your courage, you want to go against the grain. You want to go against even yourself at times. And when I say go against yourself, I don't mean your intuition or your gut feeling. I mean going against the thing that's scaring you, right? So for example, it doesn't take courage to talk to your friends or your family as you're sitting around, in maybe face to face or in a gathering of some sort or on the phone. That takes no amount of courage to do that. But it does take courage to stand up in front of hundreds or thousands of people and give a speech, like a public speaking event. That takes courage, right? It doesn't take courage to, say, move a few blocks down the street or even across town. But it takes courage to move across the country into the unknown, someplace you've never been, you don't know anyone, you don't know anything about it. That takes courage. Or moving to a whole nother country. That takes big time courage, okay? That takes real courage. Another example, it doesn't take courage for you to go to work every day. Let's say it's a job you've been at for years, or even a job that you've only been on for a short amount of time. It doesn't take courage to get up and just go to work and do your job, right? But it does take courage, especially when you've been at that job for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. It takes courage to quit that job and start your own business. That's having courage. Sometimes, as ironic as this sounds, it takes courage to just be authentically who you are. Because in the society we live in today, there's a lot of pressure to be a certain way or be, fit into a certain group. It's a lot of pressure out there. So as crazy as it sounds, it takes courage nowadays just to simply be authentically who you are. You worry about judgment. You worry about people's comments. And so that's why you hear so many people, pushing this message of just be yourself. Don't worry about what other people think, because it takes courage now to do those things. Not that it always hasn't. It has. But now, especially because of social media, because of people being so judgmental and being so outright in your face with the judgment. There was a time where that type of behavior or comments or whatever you want to call it, just being so in your face with it. It was a time where that wasn't the case. So how do you develop courage? If you feel like you're lacking in this area or you want to increase your courage, how do you go about doing that? Right? So you develop courage when you do what scares you. You develop courage when you tackle fear head on. You got to tackle it head on. You cannot allow fear to stop you. When you do what scares you, it develops and increases your courage. When I started my blog, it sounds so silly to me now. It sounds so silly to me now. But when I started my blog 5, 6 years ago, whenever it was, 2015, I was scared to death just to write a blog post. I wasn't scared. Yes, I was. I was scared to even get started because I had all these crazy racing thoughts in my mind about, what somebody might say about it, or what if it sounds stupid, or, it was just crazy. I was scared once I wrote the article. Then I was scared to actually hit the publish button. I was scared to hit the publish button because I knew publish meant that it went out into the world. Did nobody know me? I was scared. I developed and increased my confidence again when I started my own publishing company. And I did that because I knew I wanted to write books. I have like stories in me. But I wanted to publish my own books through my own company. I don't know what I didn't know what I was doing when I started that company. It's still a work in progress, but I did it scared. That developed courage within me. It increased my courage the more and more I kept blogging, the more and more I kept writing. The more the more, and it's still, my courage is still being increased the more and more I work on building my business. It took courage. Here's the biggest one for me, because I was never that person to be in front of the camera. It took courage. I developed a certain level of courage by getting in front of this camera, because it's not what I just was like scared to death to do it. I really was. But every time I do it, it increases my courage. Every single time. So, what you want to do is you want to work on increasing your courage by doing that which scares you over and over and over again, until facing your fears become a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your character. Right? To the point where you feel uncomfortable anytime you're in a new comfort zone. It should feel uncomfortable for you when you're actually, when it becomes a part of your character, facing your fears, building that character, developing and increasing your comfort. Your courage. Yeah. So you want to get to that point where it becomes a part of your character to feel uncomfortable being too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So you'll get to the point where nothing can stop you, because you'll get your fulfillment from now chasing purpose, if that makes sense. And I'm sorry, I kind of stumbled over the words, but I was trying to figure out the best way to say it, because once you start stepping outside of your comfort zone, innately, you will begin to, you won't even really realize what's happening, but you're going to start finding your purpose if you're seeking it. If you're like, for you to want to step outside of your comfort zone, for you to want to develop your courage, for you to want to increase your courage, that means you want something more for yourself. And when you do that, you will eventually get to the point where fulfillment comes from now chasing purpose. And that's why you will be uncomfortable being too comfortable. You'd be like, I need to grow. I need to learn. I need to get up and move. I need to do something new. I know this too well. I can do it in my sleep. It's time to grow, right? So this is how you develop and increase your courage. Now, go face your fears and do something that scares you. Have a good day, y'all. Be blessed. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified anytime I post a new video. Hit that bell and you'll get notified every single time. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed.